How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here with our video. So, of course, another week NFL football now upon us, which means it's now time for the NFL Week 15 picks, as now we're entering the last 4 weeks of the season. The sprint to the finish, the last month, is here, which means this is the part of the year where we're going to see who makes it to the playoffs and who's getting sent to elimination stations. So, yeah, a lot of these games have playoff stipulations on the line now. So, of course, last week with my picks, I went 6-9 with my picks. Had a pretty bad week. So, my record for this year goes to 130-78. Of course, last week we had our first team punch out their ticket to the playoffs, and that being the San Francisco 49ers. So, they're now locked in, which means we have now 13 spots remaining for the playoffs. While last week only New England was eliminated, despite winning on Thursday night because of Cincinnati winning. So New England's out, which means now we have 2 teams eliminated, which means there are still 16 imposters at large. So yeah, let's take a look at this week's game and let's see what we have. Starting off with the Thursday night game. This is going to be a great game with great playoff stipulations. Nope, I'm just fucking with you. It's a tank bowl. So this tank bowl does have a few elimination stipulations, but this one has the Los Angeles Chargers facing the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. So of course, both teams are facing elimination here. So the loser of this game could possibly be eliminated Sunday. As for the Raiders, they're eliminated with a loss plus a Chiefs W plus an absurd set of permutations, aka clusterfuck. And they can also be eliminated with a loss plus a Denver W and then a clusterfuck of shit we won't know. While the Chargers, they're eliminated with a loss plus a Chiefs W plus a clusterfuck. And they can also be eliminated with a loss plus a Denver W and plus a clusterfuck. So for this clusterfuck situation, it means that whoever loses cannot be eliminated till Sunday because a lot of the Saturday games are heavily dictated based on their situation. So we have to wait till the Saturday games play out to see if they're truly safe or not. Like, pretty much there are so many different scenarios for both teams to where whoever did the playoff clinching scenario thing, they just flat out gave up and just did something more productive with their life. See what you did, script writers, with your chaos? You made the fucking playoff scenario guy just straight up quit on this week. Like, you just threw the damn towel. But yeah, this one, though, the team I think that will avoid this situation, I think, will be the Raiders. As I think the Raiders are going to win this game over the Chargers because Justin Herbert's now out for the rest of the season with that broken finger. Yeah, more pain for the Chargers. So yeah, I got the Raiders winning this one, 22-21. Give me the Raiders by 1 over the Chargers. So I have the Raiders surviving for another week, and the Chargers, well, their fate will have to be decided later this week. Alright, now to our first slate of the Saturday games, as we have 3 Saturday games this week. So the first Saturday game, we have Minnesota Vikings, Cincinnati Bengals playing up in Cincinnati. Of course, Josh Dobbs is now out. Nick Mullins is now in a QB for the Vikings. Just the Vikings offense has just been a complete mess. They're now on their 3rd different quarterback since Kirk Cousins got injured. As, yeah, Dobbs mania, the Pastronaut mania officially died out. It hit its expiration date. But yeah, the Bengals are still trying to ride the ship without Joe Burrow. Pretty much both teams are trying to ride the ship without their star QB. But yeah, I got Cincinnati win this one. I think Cincinnati has the edge. I think Cincinnati will find a way to beat the Vikings. I got the Bengals winning this one 22-19 over Minnesota. Give me Cincinnati by 3 over Minnesota. Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts playing in Indianapolis. The Steelers looked god-awful against the Patriots last week on Thursday night. Just looked like a complete mess. Like, that was just another case of the Steelers playing down to their competition and making it more competitive than it should have been. I think this week will be no different. I think they're going to play down to the Colts. And I think the Colts are going to make Pittsburgh pay for it. Just the Steelers have been an absolute mess. See, I'm going to take the Colts in this one, 26-17. Give me the Colts by 9 over the Steelers. Like, I think the Steelers are going to play so down to the Colts, and it's not even going to be funny. All right, to our next game, the Saturday night game. We have the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions playing in Detroit. Of course, Detroit, they can clinch a playoff spot this week. For Detroit to clinch, they need a win plus a Seattle loss, plus a loss from either Green Bay, Minnesota, or the LA Rams. They can also clinch with a win plus a Rams loss, plus losses from the Rams, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota. They can also clinch with a win plus losses from the LA Rams, Green Bay, and Atlanta. I can tell you that last one isn't happening because of who Atlanta's playing later this week. We'll get to that later. But yeah, Detroit has the chance to clinch their first playoff spot since 2016. As Detroit's trying to hold on to their lead in the NFC North. This is going to be an interesting game. It could go either way. Denver's been red hot, but, they've been inconsistent at times, while the Lions have just been struggling the last couple weeks. I'll tell you right now, I think the Lions get there. I think the Lions bounce back in this game. I think this is a chance for the Lions to bounce back. They're playing at home. They have no cold weather games the rest of the season. I got Detroit bouncing back against Denver again this win. I have Detroit winning 23-21. Give me Detroit by 2 over Denver. I think it's going to be a very close game. But yeah, give me Detroit by 2 over the Broncos. Alright, to our slate of Sunday games now. The first one we have Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns playing up in Cleveland. Yeah, I got Cleveland in this one. Cleveland's just looked pretty good, especially now with Joe Flacco taking over a QB, Flacco being a QB for the Browns the rest of the season. Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns to beat the Bears in this one, 24-18. Give me Cleveland by 6 in this one over Chicago. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots playing up in Foxborough. Of course, we all saw what happened with the Chiefs last week with Patrick Mahomes crying like a bitch to the refs on the sideline after crying about Kadarius Toney being offside, even though it was clear as day he was offside. But the Chief fans and Mahomes won't admit it because that doesn't fit their narrative. It's fucking ironic? Mahomes and the Chiefs fans always complain and bitch about the officiating. Yet the refs are the only reason why Mahomes has 2 fucking rings to begin with. If anything, after the Super Bowl last year, the Chiefs have no fucking reason to complain about officiating. Considering that the only reason they are where they are is because of the refs. So the Chief fans can sit down and shut the fuck up. But of course, the league's going to do everything now to make sure the Chiefs win and win out the rest of the year. Because if they don't, Mahomes will keep crying and whining like a little fucking brat until he gets his way. Like, for the longest time, I thought it was just his brother and his wife that were pretty unlikable. But now Patrick Mahomes is becoming unlikable himself. But yeah, I got the Chiefs winning this one 25-21 over New England. Because douchebaggery has to be rewarded in this society. Fucking sickening, I know, but, it is what it is. Well, New England, it seems like it's already set in stone that Bill Belichick's going to get fired at the end of the season. As reports saying that Robert Kraft's going to let Belichick ride out the rest of the year and then fire him after. Or a mutual part ways, which is kind of the same fucking thing. But yeah, we'll talk about that one at the end of the season, though. But yeah, give me the Chiefs by 4 over the Patriots in this one. Now to our next game. Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers playing in Carolina. Yeah, Atlanta wins this one because Carolina's fucking dog crap. Give me Atlanta over this one by Carolina, 22-20. Because Carolina's still trying to keep pace with the Saints and the Buccaneers in the NFC South, a.k.a. Tank Division. But yeah, give me the Falcons by 2 over the Panthers. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Green Bay Packers playing in Green Bay. Tampa Bay, after their win last week against the Falcons, Tampa Bay has now taken over the top spot in the Tank Division in the NFC South. Green Bay, of course, trying to keep hold on to the final wild card spot in the NFC. I want to go Tampa Bay, but I just can't. I'm not buying it on Tampa. I got the Packers winning this one at home. I got Green Bay beating Tampa Bay 19-17. Give me the Packers by 2 over the Bucks. I want to go Tampa Bay, but I see Green Bay winning that thing. All right, now to our next game. Houston Texans, Tennessee Titans playing in Tennessee. Now, Tennessee, they can be eliminated with a loss plus a win from either Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, or Cincinnati. They can also be eliminated with a loss plus wins from Denver and Las Vegas. And Tennessee can also be eliminated with a loss plus wins from Buffalo, Denver, and the LA Chargers. And Tennessee's the favorite entering this game. I believe part of that is because C.J. Stroud is currently in concussion protocol, but I'm making this pick based off of if I think Stroud will make the game or not. And I think he will. I think Stroud will clear concussion protocol before this game. I have Stroud playing in this one, and I have Houston beating Tennessee in this one, 24-21. As Houston's trying to keep pace in that very competitive AFC wildcard race. Yeah. Give me the Texans over the Titans, 24-21. Give me Houston by 3. And since I have both Indianapolis and Cincinnati winning this week, this means that I think Tennessee will officially be eliminated from playoff contention. I see them heading to elimination station. So yeah, give me Houston winning and Houston sending Tennessee to the elimination station. All right, now to our next game. We have the New York Jets, Miami Dolphins playing up in Miami. Now the Jets, they can be eliminated this week with a loss plus wins from Buffalo in either Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Houston, or Cincinnati. They can also be eliminated with a loss plus wins from Indianapolis, Cincinnati, and either Houston or Cleveland. They can also be eliminated with a loss plus wins from Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Houston. So yeah, the Dolphins, what the fuck were the Dolphins doing last week against the Titans? Had the game won and you blew it in the last 3 minutes. That's just pretty fucking embarrassing. So it seems like the Dolphins' offense lives and dies by the cheetah Tyreek Hill. Well, the Jets, their season died in week 1 when Aaron Rodgers went down. And yeah, the Jets' season has just been on life support since then. I got the Dolphins winning this one over the Jets. Give me the Dolphins 22-21 over the Jets. Give me Dolphins by 1. And since I have Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Houston, and Cleveland winning this week, I think the New York Jets are also going to be sent to elimination station this week. I think we're going to have more than one team eliminated this week. So yeah, give me the Dolphins by 1 and sending the Jets straight to elimination station. All right, to our next game. New York Giants, New Orleans Saints playing up in New Orleans. Saints trying to keep pace in the competitive NFC South Tag Division race. Well, the Giants, they're actually only a game out of the playoffs out of a wild card spot, so they're trying to keep pace in there. So a game both teams need, and shockingly, neither team is facing elimination yet. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints in this one over the Giants. I got the Saints in this one, 23-22 over New York. Give me the Saints by 1 over the Giants. All right, now to our next game. Washington Commanders, Los Angeles Rams playing up in Los Angeles. The Commanders, they're eliminated from playoff contention with just a loss. Now I got the Rams in this one. The Rams are also trying to keep pace in the NFC wildcard race. They're tied for that last spot with the Packers, but the Green Bay holds the tiebreaker because of head-to-head. But yeah, I'm going to take the Rams in this one, 23-19. Give me the Rams by 4 over Washington, and I have the Rams sending Washington straight to elimination station. So I think Washington will end up being eliminated this week. All right, now to our next game. San Francisco 49ers, Arizona Cardinals playing in Arizona. Even though San Francisco clinched the playoff spot last week, there's still a lot more they can clinch now. Because this week, the 49ers, they can clinch the NFC West Division title with a win or a Rams loss. While on the other hand, the Arizona Cardinals, they could be officially eliminated from playoff contention with a loss. They can also be eliminated with wins from the Rams and either Minnesota or Green Bay. Or they could be eliminated with wins from the Rams, the Saints, the Bears, and the Falcons. They can also be eliminated with wins from Minnesota, Green Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Chicago. This one won't be a contest. I got San Francisco winning this one 23-20. Give me San Francisco by 3 over Arizona in this one. And I think San Francisco will lock up the NFC West this week. And to be honest, I think the Cardinals will be eliminated before this game because I got the Rams and the Packers winning this week. So I think Arizona will be eliminated before kickoff in this game. But yeah, give me San Francisco by 3 over Arizona. I have San Francisco claiming the West, and I have Arizona going to elimination station. Arizona's cheated death the last 2 weeks, but not this time. Now to our next game. Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills playing up in Buffalo. Now Dallas with their win over the Eagles on Sunday night last week, the Cowboys have now taken over the lead in the NFC East. So Cowboys trying to hold on to the lead in the division. And the Cowboys are now tied for the number 1 seed with San Francisco. But San Francisco holds the tiebreaker off head-to-head. So yeah, the 49ers still continue to hold the number 1 seed. Cowboys are currently slated at number 2. Now also for the Cowboys, Cowboys can clinch a playoff spot this week. They can clinch by just beating the Bills this week. Cowboys can also clinch with a loss from Tampa Bay, plus wins from Detroit and San Francisco. They can also clinch with losses from Tampa Bay and the Rams, plus a win from Detroit. They can also clinch with losses from Tampa Bay and Minnesota, plus a win from Detroit. They can also clinch with losses from Tampa Bay, Minnesota, and Seattle. They can also clinch with losses from Atlanta and Green Bay, plus a win from Detroit. They can also clinch with losses from the Rams, Packers, and Falcons. They can also clinch with losses from Atlanta, Green Bay, and Seattle. And finally, they can clinch with just losses from Seattle and the LA Rams. So yeah, a lot of different scenarios. But yeah, a lot of these scenarios, it is possible to where the Cowboys could actually clinch. No, actually, the Cowboys can't clinch it beforehand. Unless Tampa Bay and Minnesota both lose and Detroit wins, which I have that scenario playing out. So yeah, there is a scenario where the Cowboys could clinch it before the kickoff of this game. But yeah, I honestly don't know why the Cowboys are underdogs in this game over the Bills. Bills have been inconsistent as hell all year. I'm not buying it on Buffalo. I got Dallas winning this one 23-16. Give me the Cowboys by 7 in this one. And I have Dallas punching their ticket to the playoffs. All I say is, brace yourselves with the Cowboys punch their ticket in this week. Because the toxicity from Cowboy fans will be out of the roof this week. And then we'll be just hearing all week, and then we'll be hearing nonstop Sunday about, how about them Cowboys? God help us all. Now we get to our Sunday night game. As our Sunday night game, we'll see the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars playing in Duval. This is a pretty rare sight. Jacksonville in a Sunday night game. When was the last time this ever happened? Usually the only time Jacksonville gets a primetime game is either on Thursday night when somebody has to do it, or a rare Monday night game. But a Sunday night game, this is new ground for Jacksonville. Meanwhile, on the other hand, no stipulations for the playoffs in this game. As Baltimore, they could be the first team in the AFC to clinch a playoff spot. As Baltimore can clinch a spot with a win, plus losses from Pittsburgh and either Buffalo or Denver. They can also clinch with a win, plus the losses from Buffalo and either Denver, Cleveland, or Houston. They can also clinch with a win, plus a loss from Denver, plus a loss from either Cleveland or Houston. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I know Jacksonville has had Baltimore's number the last couple meetings. I'm not buying it here. Just Baltimore looks pretty complete this year. I got the Ravens winning this one over Jacksonville 22-20. So yeah, give me the Ravens by 2. And since I have Pittsburgh and Buffalo and Denver all losing this week, I think, and I also have, Denver too. I don't have Cleveland losing, though, but I have Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Denver all losing this week. I think Baltimore will indeed be the first team to punch their ticket to the playoffs in the AFC. So, yeah, give me the Ravens by 2, and I have the Ravens going to the playoff, clinching their spot to the playoffs this week. And now, finally, the Monday night game. Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks playing up in Philadelphia. Of course, Philadelphia, they can clinch a playoff spot this week with a win. They can also clinch it before this game, as they can clinch with losses from Atlanta, Minnesota, and the LA Rams. They can also clinch with losses from Minnesota and Atlanta, plus wins from Detroit and San Francisco. They can also clinch with losses from Minnesota, Tampa Bay, and the LA Rams. They can also clinch with losses from Minnesota, Tampa Bay, plus wins from Detroit and San Francisco. They can also clinch with losses from Green Bay, Atlanta, and the LA Rams. They can also clinch with losses from Green Bay and Atlanta, plus wins from Detroit and San Francisco. A lot to digest there. But yeah, the Seahawks have just been going downhill, especially with Geno Machino having health issues and Drew Lock being nowhere near as advertised. The Eagles have also been on a downslide the last couple weeks, as the last 2 weeks they've gone blown out. And now the Eagles are possibly in a wild card spot. But even if they do end up in a wild card spot, they're probably going to win their playoff game anyway, since the NFC South is a fucking joke. But yeah, I got the Eagles winning this one over Seattle 21-17. Give me Philadelphia by 4 over Seattle. And with Philadelphia winning, I think Philadelphia will punch their tickets to the playoffs, and the Birds of Green will head back to playoff land. So yeah, give me the Eagles by 4 in this one. And since I have Seattle and Minnesota losing and Detroit winning, I think Detroit is going to lock up a playoff spot this week as well. In fact, I think all the teams that can possibly clinch a spot this week, I think will clinch this week. So yeah, in terms of this week, I think Philadelphia, that does it for my picks this week. So in terms of clinching, I think Baltimore, Dallas, and Detroit will clinch spots in the NFC. And I think Baltimore will clinch a spot in the AFC. And I think San Francisco locks up the NFC West this week. In terms of eliminations, I think Washington and Arizona will be eliminated. I think the Jets will be eliminated along with Tennessee. I think the Raiders will survive another week. And the Chargers, well, we won't know what the Chargers situation is. But I do have the Chiefs at least winning, but I'm not sure what the other absurd set of situations I have to play out for. So the Chargers situation, that's still up in the air. We won't know for sure until at least Sunday. But yeah, that's all I got to say for this week. Hope everyone's a great day. I think a lot of teams are going to go to playoff land this week, and I think a lot are going to go to elimination station. But yeah, that's all I got to say, and I'll see you all over Make next. I'm out.